Hi, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of The Right Side Thinker, the podcast about achieving creative success and the ways in which to get there. Each episode, we're going to be inviting a notable creative to talk to us about their journey and the trials and tribulations they faced to be where they are today. My name's Georgie, and I'll be talking to none other than my good friend, Ashley McGregor.
Woo!
How are you?
I'm so stoked to be here.
Aren't you just? Thank you for doing this as well.
Honestly, not a problem. Not a problem.
You have a very good history, a great background. I want to hear about it. I want everyone to hear about it.
Okay.
I did do a little research, a little deep dive
Ooh.
on you, even though I already knew you. But
Oh,
I
I'm
listed some of your
intrigued.
things.
What did the webs tell you?
Well, first of all, I started with my little information. So I said, went to school together, became friends through music. How nice.
Oh, nice.
Because I think we did.
Yeah, we definitely didn't hang out at like the first few grades of school. And
Yeah.
I'm like, gosh, Ashley, like you really missed a good opportunity.
Oh, that's
And then-
nice.
Yeah. Now, I mean, we've been to Melbourne together.
We have.
Did our families know each other through kindergarten though or something?
Yes.
Didn't we go to kindy together?
We did. Oh, gosh.
So jokes, scrap that. We technically knew each other from kindergarten.
Lifelong friends.
Lifelong, except there was a good decade where we just forgot about each other.
Yeah, between 4 and 14, it was just nothing. And we went, oh my God, my
Who
4-year-old
dis chick?
friend.
Yeah.
How you been? No, so it would have been year 10 and we became friends through the creative industries, I guess.
Yeah.
Enjoying
definitely.
music, both of
Yeah.
us. A little bit of percussion from you, just another thing to pop on your list of things.
Hell yeah.
I've also got, far out, a very long list of things you have done.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if you want to go through it, but I'll just list it quickly.
Go for it.
Production coordinator at the Steve Jaggy Company. Is that it?
Yes.
Yes. Nova Entertainment, executive producer of the weekend shows, panel operator and brand ambassador. A radio presenter at 4ZZZ and a presenter at Leeds Student Radio and Global Radio London Enterprise, which is international, and MTV UK and Nickelodeon UK. Like, what were you doing there?
What was I doing? At MTV, I worked on MTV Crashes in Plymouth. So that's a 2-day festival. And then as an artist liaison. And then for Nickelodeon, I worked on the first ever UK Slime Fest,
Oh my gosh.
which was, quite an experience. It was really good. It was like filming a television show essentially of the festival, but you did the festival twice. So it was
What?
one day and then the festival happened. It was all filmed.
Right.
And then you got a whole new bunch of kids in and you did the whole festival again.
No.
Yeah.
Why?
So same jokes, same everything from all the MCs. Because that's TV.
The secrets.
Crazy.
It's been revealed.
Yeah.
Well, also, you've just wrapped on a Disney and Netflix film with none other than US superstar Peyton List.
Yeah. Swimming for Gold. Yeah, that was really good. That was through Steve Jaggy Company. So I worked as the marketing assets coordinator. So conducting interviews, behind the scenes, social media and all that sort of stuff.
Awesome.
Very new age.
Awesome. For QT as well, shout out, events assistant. Woodford Folk Festival, you're an artist liaison.
Yes.
Yes. A networking wrangler for Q Music and Big Sound.
That's right.
Gosh.
Odd titles, aren't they all?
But so my question is, they're all in creative industries, but you know, some of them are in events, some of them are production.
Yeah.
How did you manage to juggle that? Or, you know, because I feel like some of them would have very different requirements.
Definitely. I have my fingers in many pies, I feel. How do I'm a person, I'm very like, I can't sit still and I have to be doing heaps of different things at once. I really like to be kept busy. So I think I really love having a job in different areas because I wear different hats. And like in the mornings, I'll be at Nova and I'll be producing. Then I'll go to QT and I'll put on my events hat and have to like think about project management and all that good stuff.
Right.
But yeah, it is a bit to juggle.
Yeah.
I generally work 7 days a week, which
Ooh.
I mean is good. Oof indeed. But sometimes, you know, on the weekends, like I might finish at 9 and then I have my whole day ahead of me and I've made some money in the morning.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, sweet.
I think you have always seemed like one of those people where as soon as you always are doing something, and then I feel like as soon as you you weren't doing something, even if you got given a break, you'd be like, nah, I got to do something.
Yeah, honestly.
I got to get up.
Yeah, I feel like when I'm in a break, I get really anxious. So I'm just like, oh, no, I'm in a lull. And then I can't be in a lull. And then I'll apply to many things. And then everyone will be like, yeah, come on board. And then I'll overcommit to many things. And I'll be like, remember April when you didn't have anything to commit to? That was good. Sleep-ins were nice.
God. You won't remember that though.
Yeah.
You won't remember the sleep-ins you didn't have.
And I'm a big believer that, you put in 6 months of hard work and you're 5 years ahead. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Save that for one of the... I should write that down
Write
on
it
my
down.
list of mantras for the upcoming.
Oh, I was going to ask you about your mantras. God.
Right now.
You're on top of it. So I'm going to ask you, where and what did you study? So I know you went to QUT.
Yeah.
What were you studying?
So I studied a Bachelor of Entertainment Industries, minoring in music, which is no longer a degree as of this year.
Really?
Yeah, no, they've cut it out. It was well worth my money and well worth my time.
I'm still there and I didn't know that happened. So I might have to
check
myself.
You have to do you can only major in entertainment now. So it's not a bachelor degree. So I think it's communication with entertainment.
Oh, true.
Which I think is what you do.
I'm doing, a major. I'm doing journalism, but with a major of entertainment. So I should know that.
Yeah, you should know that.
Yep.
You're at the
Write
uni.
that down. So if you, with that, do you think that helped you get other jobs? What's your opinion on it?
So in entertainment, my first ever job was working at CFM on the Gold Coast. And the big boss, he studied education at university. And he said to me that, like, you need degrees in this industry. It doesn't matter what degree you get, but you should get one because it shows that you can commit to things. And I really believe that. And also, like, it is good to go into something with a tertiary qualification. But my degree has not helped me in any way. I'm sorry, QT, but it is nothing like the real world. We did a lot of irrelevant theory. Like a lot of it was based on film and working for film producers in the film industry. It's like, wow, we didn't learn about any of this. And, producing is like how to finance a film. I cannot tell you one course subject that I did that was how to finance a project.
Yeah.
Like, that's so important. How do you get $1 million to put a film together? It was like how to find talent and make it into a product.
Yeah.
Cool. But how do you get that product off the ground? We never learned that. And like, it's all my experience from the industry that I'm so thankful for because like, yeah, my degree didn't do anything for me.
So in saying that, seeing all the things you have done, how was it through networking that you got them, or how, if it wasn't your degree, how did you start off getting these jobs?
Yeah, so how did I start off? So I started at CFM, and that was through networking. So my brother is a music producer, and at the time his best friend lived on the Gold Coast, but he would be up here every weekend DJing. And so he lived with us every weekend. And his dad was the big boss of CFM. And I was like, I love radio. I really want to get into it. Like, it's been a big passion of mine growing up. And his family were like, yeah, come and live with us for a bit. You guys have housed our son. Come live with us and you can come to work with me and we can, like, I'll put you in different areas so you can learn what parts of radio you like. And I remember walking in there and being like, yep, this is where I belong. I love it.
Nice.
So it started off there, and then I got a reference letter after that because you should always leave a job with a reference letter. That's a handy tip. And then
A great tip.
yeah, and then I was working also for Shake and Stir Theatre Company as an instructor for them, and I was at one of our opening nights, and I was talking to one of the company members, and I was telling him about like doing this experience at CFM and how much I loved it and how I really want to get into radio. And he was like, oh, my ex-girlfriend works in radio. No way. That's kind of
No way,
cool.
dude.
Yeah. And so he had dated her back like when he was in his like late teens, early 20s, and she moved to Whopper. So they only broke up because of distance, and they're still like really amicable, and they both had long-term partners, but they're still in contact as friends. And he was like, yeah, I'll give you a number. You guys should get coffee and chat to her. And it was Georgina Markwald, the music director. And so she was like, yeah, come in for coffee. And I came into the Nova offices and she showed us around, and like I gave her my details and my CV and everything, and she gave it to Jason O'Grady, who was the street team leader at that time.
For Nova.
Yeah. Being like, yeah, if there's any casual work, she's really good, she's really passionate, and she's in university. Yeah. Wow. And then I had a meeting with him and got a job as a Casanova. Well, at the time, it was a Nova Sandman.
Nice.
Yeah. And that was my first actual like contracted job in radio, was back then. So it was just like a little whirlwind.
Yeah. Networking.
Yeah, it was like speak to one person, has a contact, follow up.
Yeah.
And then like go get coffee, but then follow up with them and try and really...
Yeah, I feel like the follow-up part is very, very... I think especially there'll be points where you're talking to someone that you may think, hey, that's a good network, and then just go, anyway, what was I doing?
Yeah.
I think you've got to know to be... You may feel sometimes you're being pushy.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but I think you have to.
You have to be. You have to show that you're proactive, that you want it, and that you got to, like, especially with entertainment, you got to be knocking on those doors and keep knocking, because everyone else has got so many other things to think about. They don't think it's that pushy. It's like a little reminder for them.
Yeah.
And it's like advertising, and you're advertising yourself, you know. If a Facebook ad comes up like 5 times in a row, then you're like, oh, maybe I should see that movie. But if you see it once, then you're like, oh, don't need to see that movie. I've forgotten about it. But for them, it's like, oh, that's right, that girl. That's right, that girl. And then something will come up and they'll be like, oh, that girl would be good for it.
Yeah.
And they remember. So, yeah, knock on those damn doors, guys.
You're full of mantras. You've got loads of advice.
Yeah,
I'm writing it down. I'm writing it down now.
Yeah, good.
So, with all this success, I still want to ask you, did you ever face any hurdles or any challenges either trying to, in your pursuits, like trying to get a job, and if so, how did you overcome them?
So my challenges, a big thing in entertainment is networking, and the way to get into networking or getting into those doors is through internships. And I have interned for many companies over my years, and it's unpaid, which sucks. And like, if you do get a paid internship, good on you, because that is so rare in Australia.
And please tell me where it is.
Hello, how much?
I need it.
And then getting a job out of an internship, that's awesome. But it's transitioning from having an internship into a job that I've found really hard. So that's how I got into the film producers, was I started out as an intern. And now I'm a actual office member. But sometimes I did have a woman who kept seeing me as an intern, and she worked in like post-production, which isn't anything to do with what I was doing, but because I had been an intern, she would just come out of her office and be like, oh, Ashley, we need 3 chairs in here.
Intern.
Yeah.
Do this.
I'm like, cool, you need 3 chairs in there. Good for you.
There's your arms.
I would move 3 chairs into her room because, you know, I'm trying to keep it amicable.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big struggle for me, was trying to transition into being seen as someone who's not just the intern anymore. And also being someone so young in the industry.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't take you as seriously, I feel. And so I try and act older than my age, and try, like, a lot of people are faking it, to be honest. But like, I really try and make sure people respect me. Yeah. Because as someone who's, early 20s, people just are like, I don't need to take what she's saying, or like they don't they don't really listen or want to push me in places. And and especially another thing is pay rates. Being young doesn't mean I'm inexperienced, and you should know your worth. So like, I've definitely asked for raises before, and it's being confident in yourself and knowing like how to ask for it. And sometimes they won't give it to you, but at least they know that you're not completely happy with it, and that like that's how you see the job. And knowing your worth has been a big issue of mine as well. Some industries, like you do get minimum wage. So my film job, I get absolute minimum wage as a contractor, which is stupid. but I am a contractor, so I can leave tomorrow if I wanted to. And I can just say, oh, next week I can't come in, and they don't have a right to be like angry about it. So I can also take on other like small projects on the side, which is nice. But yeah, so I'm like, oh, I guess a smaller amount is worth that much. But then like other jobs, like my QT job, like doing events, there was a time where I was working on like 2 massive events at once, and I was still getting the same pay rate as working on one event. So I was like to my boss, hey man, like this is same pay, more responsibility, so I need a higher raise. And then she did it for me. So like, yeah. And there are lots of apps that you can use actually to calculate like your work milestones. So
really?
Where you write down like all of your goals. So like this week I achieved this. You know, the next week you write down like what you achieved at work that week.
Right.
And it's a good way to show your boss when you're wanting a pay raise, all the achievements you've come up with over the last 6 months, and be like, look what I have achieved for you. Because a lot of things go unnoticed, like with the boss, and also you forget.
I was going to say, I feel like you'd forget half the stuff you did, or not realize the importance of what you did, even if it was a small job.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, that thing. But
that's right.
You're right.
Yeah. And it's a good way to like remind yourself how productive, proactive is what I was going to say, productive you are. And it's a good way to evaluate yourself is by just writing down all your achievements, so that way you can ask for a pay raise.
Awesome. And I feel like it would be hard if you're like, I don't know, fresh out of high school, 18, 17, and you're not thinking, you know, like you've got to find that balance between, I'm not getting paid a lot, but this is a great experience, or you're going, hang on, I deserve more. And it is that little balance.
Yeah. That's what film is to me. It's like, I'm not getting paid much, but I use this job more as a learning experience than like I'm this far in my career in film, so I should be paid this much as a professional. Yeah, and it feels like a very creative industry's problem. It is. Yeah, it's so transferable. So transferable. But it's a thing you got to navigate, and it's a big, like, it's a decision you have to make, is whether the stress is worth the money, or the benefits are worth the money or not. Yeah.
So I want to ask, you're full of advice now, and I know you're still very young, but do you have any advice that you'd give your younger self, whether that's, I don't know, high school, first year uni, just any?
I think it's just like, I'm a big overthinker, and I'm a big future planner, and I don't really live in the present as much as I would like to. So I would like to tell my younger self, it all works out in the end, Ashley. And like, don't sweat over the small stuff. Like I remember just getting really attached to job applications, being like, this is the job for me. Like, I want this. And then not getting it, and like being so upset about it for so long, and that sort of thing, and being like, and it really like diminishes yourself. So yeah, Ashley, it's all good. Things happen for a reason. Like even before we were chatting now, I was telling you about a job that I had applied for, and now I'm like kind of thankful I didn't get it, because I'm really happy with where I am now, compared to like, if I did get this job, then I would be on a completely different pathway. But I think the pathway I am on now is so much better. And you should just, if the thing doesn't happen, then maybe there's a good reason for it.
Yeah. And hey, everything happens for a reason.
That's right. Man, we should start stitching pillows.
Yeah, I know.
These sayings on it.
Honestly.
That's so good.
I feel like I'm a bit more woke now. You've taught me a lot, which is great. And we're the same age, so I'm just gonna keep coming to you for advice.
Hell yeah.
Like, help me, Ashley.
Hell yeah.
You've already mentioned some mantras that you live by. Do you have any other little mantras that you go by?
Yes, I wrote down 3.
List them.
The classic, work smarter, not harder.
Yes.
I'm not very good at it. And I like to think that I'm going to be working on it, because I work hard and I work long hours sometimes. Like I go through periods of working like 70-something hour weeks, and I go through periods of working barely any hour weeks. Yeah. But I really want to start working smarter, like how to get the most out for minimum input. Yeah. Which is like a lazy person thing to say, but but it's not at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think when you get to that position, you're not being lazy.
Yeah.
being smart. Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah, as you said.
Yeah.
Another thing I really believe by is that there are a lot of people who talk and not a lot of people who do. And I always try and remind myself to be a doer. So if I'm like, oh, I want to create a podcast, then next month, why haven't I done it? You know, do it, Ashley. You know, is it worth sitting at home and watching an episode of your TV show, or should you be planning a podcast? That could be cool.
Yeah.
You know, like try and better yourself and do things rather than just say, because then other people will notice as well. And I'd rather be a doer in everyone's eyes. Not that it's really important what other people think of you.
Yeah, exactly.
But, that's just a big thing. That's not even like creative industries related. That is like worldly related.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many people that just float through.
Yeah.
Try to binge off other people's stuff.
Yeah. You got to be the one not to.
And then my last thing I thought was that you should always have time for people, especially in creative industries, because like me starting out as a little person, like a lot of people won't have time for you. And then you'll start working with them and you'll remember that, like those times where, you know, they didn't want to chat to you when you got them their coffee.
Yeah.
Or
we remember.
And then you start working with them. And then like soon you'll be in their shoes and there'll be little people. And you just don't know who you're going to end up working with. A lot of people in the creative industries work across, like no one has one job anymore.
Yeah.
So like I'll meet people here who I've worked in the theatre world, or I worked in the film world. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's you. So don't ever leave a job like with enemies or something, because they will come back and you will see them at different areas. So always have time for people. And like this is such a contact-based industry that you never know who's going to be beneficial to you or who's going to help you along the way. And you should help people along the way as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Always be a helping hand.
Yeah.
And then there'll be helping hands for you.
That's right.
Do good.
Do good.
Sorry, that's my mantra now.
Do good.
I needed one. That's all I've got. Oh my
What
gosh.
you put in is what you get back.
Yeah. I love that.
Man, we are full of
We
them.
are. Oh my gosh. Well, on that note, let's end it now, because we could go or you could go. I have none. But just thank you, Ashley, for all your wisdom, all of your little tips and tricks that you've given us. And we'll be back for another episode in the following weeks. But thank you for listening and stay tuned for another episode. Stay tuned for another